Welcome to the Shooting the Breeze Conversation with the DJ podcast with your host, Eric Lee.
What's going on, internet land? What's going on? What's going on? Yours truly, E. Lee, in the place to be for another edition of Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. Usually, you know, my man Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas is on the spot with me. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it tonight, but the show must go on. The show must go on. So, of course, when we're talking about Shooting the Breeze, we get an opportunity to talk to people that are in our lives, from the music industry to the business insiders, things of that nature, and a young lady that I'm actually going to bring on tonight. She's just phenomenal. And that's basically, you know, how I get down. We bring phenomenal people on the show all the time. We're going to talk about her journey in the spirits world. Now, we're not talking about ghosts or goblins or anything of that nature. We're talking about liquor. And of course, some of you guys had an opportunity to see me in my antics in my social media when I've been talking about this stuff right here. Yeah, this infinite tequila. You know, I get my liquor on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a little drinking while I'm on the show. You know, I can do that because it's my show. But in the meantime, in between time, I got to bring on the young lady that put this plan together. It's a phenomenal story. It ain't for me to talk about. It's for my friend, Miss Apryl Fort. Are you there, Miss Apryl?
Hey, Eric. Yeah, I'm here. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
You're so funny.
What's going on?
You know, you're the only person that I will be sick and still get up, put makeup on after being sick all day just to get on the podcast with you.
Well, I truly appreciate it. Welcome to Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. And for you, from now, Apryl, you may not understand what's going to happen. So, but the folks that check out the show, they've seen my dog pop up in my lap. He's 80 pounds, but he will try to jump up in my lap while I'm on the show. Now, he didn't do it the whole time. But of course, when I started the show, he wanted to do this. But first, let's talk about you, Miss Apryl. So let's talk about Infinite Brands. And before we start that, let's talk a little bit about how in the world you decided to become a spirits provider. While you're talking, I'm gonna go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, so Infinite is a child of mine. I call it like my other baby, right? Because it's just like another child to me. It makes me cry, it makes me laugh. It is rewarding at times. It hurts sometimes. It's just like having a kid. I started Infinite 2 years ago now, almost 2.5 years ago, when I was working in corporate America. And Eric, can you imagine working somewhere for 25 years? I interned in banking. I did all the things in banking. And one day I go to work, they transfer me to another location in Alabama from Dallas. And I get to work one day and they're just like, you know what? We're not impressed by you. I know people talk about you. I hear things about you. I know you closed a lot last year, but we're not impressed by you. Devastated me, crushed me. I went home. I cried for about don't tell nobody though. Y'all don't tell nobody that. But I was like snot crying. And I remember looking on the internet, looking on Instagram one night, middle of the night, because my friend, he was in Australia on tour. And I remember looking at him and he was drinking Patron. And I just had a flashback of when Casamigos and Patron had me in the driveway for 3 hours, just like thinking about life one night after drinking it. And I was like, man, that's some nasty stuff. That's what I said to myself, which is funny now since I own a tequila company. But I remember saying, ugh, you know, and I remembered how like drinking was something that my vet, who is my biological mom, something that she would like to go play cards. And she was that girl. And when she became diabetic, she couldn't do it anymore. And she kind of had these feelings toward it. And all these thoughts were going through my head. And I started praying like, okay, God, what's next? Right? Because I lost everything that I thought I was supposed to do. I was supposed to be the president of the bank one day. That was my goal. That was my dream. I did it right. I went to finance school. I went to school of accountancy. I knew I was this was my dream. I was supposed to be the president of a bank one day. I had big dreams. You know, they say manifested. I seen myself in the suit. I seen it. I knew it. I thought that was what I was supposed to do. I thought that's what God wanted me to do. I seen myself in the office. I seen myself running the bank. it didn't happen. So now I'm confused, I'm lost. And so what I end up doing is calling my friend Michael. Shout out to Michael. And I said, hey, Michael, your parents still own those farms in Mexico? He was like, what? And I hadn't talked to Michael in like, I've been out of college a long time. I ain't talked to Michael about 15 years. We just Facebook friends. And I call, no, actually Instagram friends. And I call Michael and I'm like, hey, can you help me do something? And he's like, what? And I was like, can you take me to your parents' farm in Mexico and teach me how to make tequila? And he thought I had lost my mind. A lot of people thought I lost my mind. So he said, hey, if you get to Dallas, we'll get the rest. So end up going down with him. We made the formula. They actually sent it back in mouthwash bottles. So when I got it in the mail, they like shipping it like incognito because you can't take it on the plane. They sent it in mouthwash bottles. And my friend that was in concert, a friend that I seen drinking, they were in concert in Mississippi. So I hop in the car. And when I tell you I rush to where they were. And I'm like, yo, taste this. They thought I had lost my mind too. They're like, you made this? And I'm like, yeah, like taste it, And everybody tasted it. They were like, man, this is delicious. This is good. I knew I was onto something. So that's how Infinite started. My cousin Adrian was like my right-hand man. She was like, I got you, so it was just like me and her, like, really, she was helping me she made all the t-shirts and stuff. She still does. She makes all the things for us. And it was just an awesome journey, just getting it started, but that's when the hard work becomes, right? Because a lot of people think you have these ideas and you get the product, but that's not the hard work. The hard work comes after that. So
now, in order to start your tequila company, you had to have some capital. Where did the capital come from?
Well, I took everything out my 401k.
Say what?
I took everything out the 401k that I had. And just really, I had some friends. I had my twin sister who invested, and we just started it from there.
The thing about it is you hear so many stories, and you hear the good and you hear the bad. But, a lot of people get to a point where they get tired of corporate America and they go into their savings account, their take out, a loan against the house in terms of a second mortgage, or they dump out their 401k and they take their shot.
Literally, right? And the wild part about that, that I taught finance in the great Maljan College, HBCU, and I would never tell my students to do that. The crazy part, I would never tell anyone to do that. Even in my book, 52 Weeks, shameless plug, 52 Weeks to Fall in Love with Your Money. I would never tell anyone to do that, but I did it. I went for broke, and trust me, when I say broke, I went for broke, but I did it and I went for it. And it takes a lot of money. And it's so funny because you hear all the people talk about all these grants they get. Like, there's going to be grants out there. There's going to be this. Child, I ain't getting none of that. I don't know if I just ain't got grant. I ain't attractive to the grants or something. I'm like, Lord, do I need to push my boobs? I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I need to straighten my hair out. I was like, what I need to do to get one of them damn grants? Because I couldn't find a grant to save my life. But I did. And the money doesn't start when you need the product, right? So a lot of people say, oh, you can just start whatever. The money starts when you need to go into manufacturing and production and, and all those type of things. That's when the real money starts. So in the liquor game, you can find your product. You can produce your product, produce your formula. But when you have to copyright, trademark, labels, glass, finding a co-packer, deliveries, system, software, that's where all your money comes in. So the money is not so much in producing the formula, because you can get somebody to do that relatively, cheap. The money comes in when you actually have to produce the bottles and you have to get the bottles out. But it makes it so funny because you hear all these, just go to the bank and get a loan, but they don't tell you that it's a high risk industry. So they're not going to give you a loan for this, And so it's so, it's like this game is like playing football, right? It's like you got the ball in your hand, you're the quarterback. They're hiking the ball to you, right? You got this ball. So now you got your bottle. Now you got to figure out how to pitch it down this field. And every inch is hard work. You're grinding it out. You're trying to get that first down. You're trying to get to the next step, and you're trying to score that touchdown. And it's telling you, it's so many things, so many opponents, so much defense coming at you while you're trying to play offense, trying to get it down that field.
Well, now you went and took your 401k, and just like you said, as you taught finance and things of that nature, you would tell nobody ever to do that.
No,
not at all.
Like in when you're teaching finance, you don't tell nobody to do that. But when you're in the midst of it and you believe in yourself, it's no telling what you're going to do. And I talk about that in Shoot Your Shot. I talk about how all the rules fly out the window when you get to the point where you don't know what the next step is. And I just posted on Facebook, and it has like a whole bunch of likes and a whole bunch of comments. But I was like, entrepreneurship is so much different than what it is in a book. It's different than what it is when you're having a conversation about starting a business. It's different than what people like. You see the highlights. So people will see me in a store or see me, with a bottle, and you see us taking shots. You're like, whoa, that has to be the most lit business ever, right? You're taking shots. You got your friend. I got Eric on here drinking my product. I got my mama walking through the store like, yo, okay, you on the shelves. I have all that, right? But entrepreneurship is the loneliest, the brokest, the broken, the doubting yourself part of your whole life. But once you figure it out, it's rewarding, right? But it's a lot of begging. Like I told my mom the other day, I kind of felt like a hooker being an entrepreneur. I'm like, hey baby, you want some? Like I'm rubbing shoulders trying to get people to buy it, and that's how it makes you feel. It makes you feel like you're trying to shrug a shoulder, like, hey, right. Come get mine. You just,
And so when you decided to, you could have done a lot of things when you decided to leave the corporate America and corporate banking. Mm-hmm. What made you decide to take on liquor? That's a hugely male dominated field, and they just don't let anybody in, or they try to keep as many people out as they possibly can. What made you decide to go into the liquor brain? Just in case folks aren't paying attention, I've got my girl Apryl Fort. She is the designer, the creator of Infinite Brands. I am holding on to her Blanco right here. She also has a Reposado, and she got a bourbon we'll talk about, as well as some RTDs and some cannabis infused drinky drinks that we'll talk about. But realistically, we're talking about the plight of entrepreneurship, taking the shot, doing something different, stop working for the man, doing things that you don't supposed to do. Now, she a finance person, say you're never supposed to dump out your 401k. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do in order to get what you want to get. Somebody said, hey, Nicole Charday. She said, hello, Nicole. Nicole said, hello. Do you know Nicole?
Yes, I do. Hey, Nicole.
Hey, Nicole. And if you're out and about, feel free to drop us a chat in the comment section. We'll definitely answer some questions. If you got any questions about entrepreneurship, how to start a business, what's right, what's wrong, we've got a young lady that is doing her thing. So feel free to hit us up in the comment line. We'll put you up there. We'll make you part of the show. That's why the show is so much fun, because we get a chance to talk to our viewers. And you are on Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. I'm Eric Lee. My girl Apryl Fort's on. If you are online, which you should be because you're watching us, go ahead and smash the like button as well as subscription button. If you are on YouTube, do that. And I'll continue to sip this for the remainder of the podcast.
I think you just like sipping.
I truly appreciate sipping. So let's get back to the fact that you decided to do tequila. What made you decide to do tequila off the rip?
I don't know. I think because I don't have the funny part is I don't have an answer for that.
I'm opening the bottle again.
Yeah.
I'll be told by the time this is over.
But hey, the good thing about it, you won't have a hangover, right? You won't have a hangover.
Now, the reason why I won't hangover? Why won't I have a hangover?
Because Infinite has no sugar, so it doesn't dehydrate you, so you can't get a hangover.
That's from all my alcoholics out there. Appreciation. So, you decided to go. You've got a Blanco and you've got a Reposado, and you also have a bourbon. Let's talk about that bourbon you got. And
The
how
bourbon, the bourbon is called Papa Tech. We love Papa Tech. It was actually an old recipe that we found that was said to be like our great. Papa Tech was my great grandfather. So Papa Tech was an old recipe that we found, and we thought that would be good for a bourbon.
Okay.
And it was back before prohibition, and we really sat down, we thought about what would be the next project, right? What would be the next good thing for us to do? And we thought that having a bourbon, because everybody doesn't like tequila, everybody doesn't drink white, and we had a lot of people inbox us and talk to me, and when I was talking to them, like, man, if you had a brown, and I was like, brown make you get down, so we might as well go for the brown next. So that's what we did. We went for and then it was such a unique taste, because the taste of it has the caramel undertones. And so we wanted something different. We wanted something that's not already in the market, just like Infinite, right? Infinite doesn't really have a taste. It has like this peppery background to it. So it doesn't have the taste to it. Infinite doesn't have the taste. But Papa Tech has the caramel taste to it. And Papa Tech does have sugar in it. So you can't get a hangover from it. So we want to let you know why you sip it.
Why you drinking it? I thought she said we weren't supposed to get a hangover. I'm real messed up this morning. So you just glazed over Papa Tech. Let's talk about Papa Tech. Who was Papa Tech?
I just told you he was my great grandfather. He was
your great grandfather. He was
my great grandfather. He was
a
just
bootlegger.
I don't know if he was just a bootlegger, but back in the day they had to make their own spirits. So
That's
back in the day, no, it's not. It's not. It's a little bit different than. I don't want to put any bad condemnation behind it, but it was something that we had talked about. Me and my grandmother talked about. We thought it was a good idea. We thought the recipe was good. We don't want to say it in a negative light. She doesn't want it in a negative light either. So, but it was something that back in the day, before prohibition, people of color weren't allowed to go into stores and just buy liquor. They weren't allowed to do those things. And so, people made recipes. They made their own spirits. And so we were able to do that and recreate it. So it's kind of like, recreation, I guess. I don't know what the word is. But
okay, well,
we don't want to put it out there. Don't make it look bad now.
No, but you think about that's sexy to me. My grandpapa won't no joke, baby. He got this recipe. I done took it down, and we rocking and rolling now. And the thing about it is, as we talk about recipes, and the reason why I wanted to because we got to let everybody know that your ethnicity has a mix of Indian blood. So didn't he do this on a reservation?
So it's not so much as a reservation. It's called Cherokee Trace, right? Where it was made at. And it's where they didn't allow these type of things back in the day. And we did the research. They don't allow these type of things. They didn't allow certain people, especially people of color. And so a lot of people think just because you are Indian or Black or whatever, like they all kind of have, we used to call them Indians, right? Because they all have this red blood to them. So the color of your skin was more important than your ethnicity back then. So what it is that anybody of color wasn't allowed to make these products or drink these products. And so we did this way before prohibition. And we did have some family members that were actually kicked out of town because they did this. So it's like a whole story. We did a lot of research on it.
Man, that's the beautiful thing about your stuff. You got a story behind it. I love that the part about it's not something that you just made up. Yeah. I mean, there is history, there's story, there is a connection to your family, and this is what was produced out of what at a certain point of time, people of color couldn't do these things, but we did it on the side, and we were gonna get ours, regardless. Because when we think about and one of the biggest stories that we hear about now is the whole Uncle Nearest piece, where the young lady reached out to the relative of Uncle Nearest. And for folks that don't, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about the story about Uncle Nearest, but just in case you don't know, Uncle Nearest was the gentleman that actually helped Jack Daniels create the formula for the Jack Daniels piece that people like to drink so much now. So,
and it's so many of those stories in our community, right? So when we were doing Papa Tech, it was so many stories, so much research was gone into Papa Tech. And the funny part is twin, Lashante, she is way better at research than I am, right? And so she was like into it, and she was like, "Oh, we got to do this, we got to do that." Yeah, she was really, really into it, and just hearing some of the stories and reading some of the stories was just truly heartbreaking because we're basically geniuses when it comes to certain things. And then to see the industry as it is now, you have a $10 billion industry yearly that only, we only control 1%. Now I know Uncle Nearest is at like $1 billion itself right now. So, she's killing it. She's like the woman in charge. But when you look at like others, there's so many smaller brands. We got Bougie Vodka by Nisi. She's amazing. We have so many amazing brands out there that represent our community that don't get the same opportunities. And so, the love that people have shown Infinite has been amazing because, is getting those opportunities.
Now, for my folks that are out here checking us out, this is Apryl Fort. She is the creator of Infinite Brands, which includes 2 tequilas. One is the Blanco, in which I'll be sipping on for the rest of the evening. Hold on for a second.
He's enjoying it. He's enjoying it. It doesn't have a burn. It doesn't have a burn. It's smooth.
It's smooth, and she has a reposado as well as a bourbon. She also has what we call ready to drink RTDs. We'll talk about that, as well as a cannabis infused version of a RTD. We'll definitely talk about that. And she has infused ice cream. So if you like ice cream and you like to get toe up, call us. No, I'm just joking. Hit us up definitely in the chat if you have any questions about entrepreneurship. Anything about the liquor or brands of that nature, because Apryl took the shot. She was a corporate banker. She emptied out her 401k and said, "You know what? I'm tired of the man. I'm going to get out and do my own thing." And she started a liquor brand. And how many states are you in right now?
11 states. Yeah.
11 states. So y'all get you got a website, people can buy it. So we'll talk about that too.
Drinkinfinite.com.
Drinkinfinite.com. So we talked about, getting into the business. What are some of the ups and downs about this? Because we know as an entrepreneur, you're going to go through some ups and downs. There are going to be some highlights and going to be some lowlights. And what happens is having the fortitude to push through.
Access is so hard for people of color in the liquor business, right? And excuse me, because this little thing make me look bald headed. I got hair. It's bothering me. I'm like, hold on, I got hair. It's just in the bun. Access is so hard in this business, right? And really, it's a lot of work. And you know what the hardest part is, though? You have to compete with the big boys. And the secret about the liquor business that nobody likes to tell is that some distributors, they'll hold your product because they're committed to another product. And, you will have people like your bigger tequilas that'll say, "Hey, I know you got her product. Hold on to it. Don't put it on the shelves. I don't want her competing with me." Wow. And you're like, wow, okay. So a lot of the smaller brands of color, they run into that all the time. That's why I respect people like Prohibition Liquor in Atlanta, who takes the time to feature, products by Black people, people of color, because what happens is a lot of the big brands, they'll say, "You know what? Don't sell theirs." Or like Camp Creek, who will have a chocolate city that only features, Black brands, because you have to have those that are differentiate. And we also have Stonecrest, who will put my display right up front. Like he put me right next to Kevin Hart. And I love that for our brands. Like I'm always like right there. I'm like, put me right there, or
Kevin Hart.
Right by Kevin Hart. I'm competing. Like we both short. We both gonna do this. And I love that because everybody aren't afforded those opportunities. I hope I'm saying that right. But everybody doesn't have those opportunities. But also I will tell you that another thing about this whole business is that the funding is really low. And people don't understand that. It seems like oh, you make this much, you do this much. It's hard. It's hard. And so that's why I teach the class and try to teach people how to penetrate those walls, because unfortunately they close in on you. And it's kind of like you think you got it, and then it's like, well, how do I keep it in the stores? And the key to it is actually doing events, getting in front of people. The marketing piece is way more important than the other pieces. The marketing is the biggest piece of all. So, and I tell you all the time, because me and you are actually friends, and I say, Eric, I'm not a marketing girl. I'm a numbers girl. I'm looking at numbers, and you're like, no, the marketing is how people know that you're there. And that's been the most important part of getting it, because distributors don't want to give you a chance. They don't want to waste their time with your products. When they're looking at it, they're not trying to waste their time. They're like, look, don't nobody know who you are. We're trying to sell right now. And sometimes you'll find that one distributor that'll take the chance on you. So I called 63 co-packers before I got someone to bottle mine. 63. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get somebody who would put it in a bottle for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so we dropping signs. We're gonna talk about 52 weeks in a second, but I gotta let everybody know you're watching Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. I've got beautiful Miss Apryl Fort. She is the creator of Infinite Brands, which includes a Reposado, a Blanco, which I'll be sipping on, and I might get tongue tied in a minute because I know I'm about at least 1.5 shots deep on this. As well as she's got a bourbon. She's got an infused ice cream we got to talk about. We got to talk about the cannabis infused drink, as well as her RTDs. She has gone strictly balls to the wall in terms of doing this thing. Dumped out her 401k. She's a corporate banker, and she decided to tell the man, you know what, I'm good. I can take my money and do something different. And she did it. So let's talk about entrepreneurship, relationships with money, because all of us need a little bit of financial literacy. Talk about that book you did.
So my book was called 52 Weeks to Fall in Love with Your Money. It's so funny because being an entrepreneur, I feel like it's a contradiction now, because I broke so many of my own rules.
You broke the rules.
I broke so many of my own rules, man. Like I tell you, entrepreneurship is not easy. Right. It's definitely not easy. But I kind of laughed last night because shout out to Friendship West Missionary Baptist Church. Me and my sister, that's my church. We have revival, and I'm watching it online because I'm not in Dallas right now. And
you bedside Baptist.
I'm bedside. Hey, that's me. So I'm watching online last night, and they were actually preaching about being in the pit, right? And I remember my sister texted me right after revival, and she said, I said, man, I broke so many of my rules, so many of the financial rules. And she said, you know what? And very soon you could take your book and you could go back through all the lessons you taught in your book and get yourself back on track. And I couldn't do nothing but laugh. But in 52 weeks, if you really are ready to get on track, to shift your mindset, it is the book for you. It's kind of a guide. So it has like where you can write in the book. You can kind of put yourself back in a financial position. We talk about who's going to check you, your credit report. It's going to tell all your business, boo. So don't make sure you clean any credit streets. We talk about the bad boys of credit cards, those store cards. They make you feel good. They're like, yo, I'm going to give you 15% off. And let me buy you that. Let me give you that 15% off, baby. It's like a dude buying you a drink. But he wants something more a little bit later on. He's expecting something more. And that 22% interest is where they usually can't say that on this podcast, but usually that's where they get theirs. Okay. So we talk about that in the book. We talk about the 32 types of investments. We talk about everything like that in the book, and it's really dope. And if you read it, you kind of go through it. You learn about going on a financial speed date with a broker, and find the broker that fits you, because you may not be a real estate girl. Finances is just like dating, right? So everybody doesn't like the tall guy. Everybody doesn't like the bald guy. Everybody don't need the rich guy. You have your preference, and your finances are just like that. Some people are real estate people. They like to buy houses. They make their money on a monthly basis, take out the equity, do their thing. Some people are stocks and bonds. Some people like to play the game. I think people that like to play the game, they like to gamble. They love to go over there to them stocks because it goes up and down, and you can kind of play the field. That's what it is. Real estate, you don't really play the field. You kind of stuck in on this one. You either getting it monthly or you selling and getting out. You don't really play the field very much, right? It's kind of like a commitment. Those stocks and bonds, you move them around, you go up and down, you take it out, you put it back in, you do what you need to do. So so it depends on what type of relationship you want to be in with your money and who you want to be when you talk about this. So I feel like if you read the book, you'll understand that type of financial literacy and you'll understand how it kind of works.
And what's the name of the book again?
52 Weeks to Fall in Love with Your Money. Go to Amazon. It's Prime Week. Go buy it off Amazon.
You have a second book out too, right?
It's coming. The second book, Shoot Your Shot, is coming. I'm sorry, Take a Shot. I keep saying Shoot Your Shot. Take a Shot is coming.
What you just tell me to do?
Take a Shot. Take a Shot is definitely coming, and it's going to be you're so funny. And it's really, really good too. So Take a Shot is more about taking a shot into entrepreneurship. Bygones to bygones for the world's about stepping out on faith, jumping and finding your wings on your way down,
and breaking the rules,
breaking all the rules. Right? You officially be a rule breaker when you read Take a Shot.
Now we talked about your Blanco. We talked about the Reposado. We've talked about Papa Tech. You also have THC infused.
Mm-hmm. Lemonades. So the THC, so we have two separate products. We have the RTDs, which are strawberry, paloma, and lime. And those are canned drinks. They have tequila in them. They have infinite in them. They're for girlies like me that can't make drinks, right? So you got company coming over, go pop a top. We call it pop your top. Pop your top, pour it in your glass, and you serve it because it's already ready to go. They're already pre-made canned drinks. All you do is serve it to your friends. If you want to get real fancy, put it in a blender with some ice so you can make it look pretty. Hey, it's your world, girl. You already got to work. You got to drink. And they're also good for if you want to go on picnics or if you got, company over, take away all the trash. Just get you a can. You ain't got to worry about all that, right? Easy. That's what our RTDs are for. They're just for the fun, right? You at the picnic, you got your can. You ain't got to worry about all that. But the infused drinks are THC infused. They're lemonades. They're strawberry and they're lemonade and a strawberry lemonade. I should put it that way. And they're really good. They actually have Splenda in them, so they're not. It doesn't have sugar. White sugar. It has Splenda to sweeten them, and they are very, very good. So
okay, so we got. Let's talk. We done talked about your THC infused drinks. Of course, your RTDs. Talked about your Blanco, your Reposado, as well as a bourbon. You also got ice cream.
Yeah.
I gotta let y'all know. We got wasted eating ice cream. Nice.
People love the ice cream. The ice cream is pretty good. It's really good. The ice cream, we have sorbets for those who can't have milk or those who are vegan. We have three sorbets: lemon, watermelon, and strawberry margarita. They're all sorbets. And then we have our lime, which is a regular margarita. We have our banana pudding, our butter pecan, which is made with bourbon instead of tequila. We have the muddy mess, which is cookies and cream infused with all of them are infused with tequila. And we have, I think that's it. So yeah, that's what we have.
And on top of all of this, you're a part of the Divine Nine. Shout out to the ladies of
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Yeah.
Okay, I take it this is a serious matter.
Very.
So are the ladies drinking? Are the ladies of the sorority drinking your drink?
I will say they're very supportive. They are very supportive, and they will go in the store, and I love it because they'll go in the store. Maybe I say we trying to sell out this store. I put it out. I feel like I put out the back call, and they'll show up. They show up and they show out, and I appreciate them for all their support. I couldn't ask for a better group of ladies. They pull me to the side when they think it's too much. They're like, "Hold on, come back here and do this." And that's what the most important part about it is, that the support is not just buying the liquor, but it's also how you tell others about it. The support is not just you buying, because I know I have a lot of people say, well, I would buy it, I don't drink. Give it to a friend, give it to somebody else. I mean, I don't care. Like, the goal is to get it off the shelves, right? Because those numbers are being calculated. And I tell people all the time, the way you help a Black business is by showing up on the reports. It's not so much as me. It's not so much that I want you to buy it just for me, right? Because I can't sell it just to you. But when you go into that store, that makes our numbers bigger. That makes people in other states look at it and say, what is she doing? And then that makes me be able to go to other states. And so we want that. We want the numbers. We want to be able, because Infinite is not about liquor. It's not about liquor. It's about giving opportunities to women of color, men of color, anybody, where you could come in and we can create our own corporate America. I remember when I left the bank, the first thing I said, I was like, I'm going to make him come ask me for them to carry my money. I want to do that. I want to give a safe space for us to be creative, for us to have our own space in this corporate world.
Yeah,
stop begging people for their spaces. We have our own.
And we should have our own spaces. And you got a great product. And tequila is the number one liquor in the world right now. Mm-hmm. You're in the right space. Mm-hmm. You're in the right space. So I know we talked about some of your infused stuff and the as well as the Blanco and the Reposado. Another book coming. What's next for you?
We're going to turn this month. No, I'm just joking.
Just go MC Hammer on me.
No.
This mother.
The right now we're focusing on getting the infused drinks out, with the cannabis world growing rapidly. We talked about that. We have a festival that we're working on doing. I'm working with a great partner on this festival that is going to allow Black spirits to showcase what they got and really get in front of people, get in front of a bunch of people in Atlanta, hopefully by next year. So we're very excited about that. Getting those infused drinks, because the way the world is going, from when we went to the liquor trade show, people are focusing on the RTDs, the ready to drinks, right? Because people like convenience. People are focused on cannabis drinks. People like that. And they're focusing on mocktails. So we want to be ahead of all those curves as we continue to grow in this business.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're on Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. I am your host, Eric Lee. Lorenzo couldn't be with us tonight because he has something else going on. But I've got Apryl Fort. She is the owner, the creator of Infinite Brands. And I am sipping on her tequila right now. Matter of fact, where's the line at? Girl, you see where the line at right now? I've been drinking your drink. That thing right there.
That makes me happy. The best thing I get. No, I'm gonna tell you the best feeling is when people send me the pictures. I hope people never stop doing that. That encourages me so much. Like, that encourages me so much when people send the pictures. When people send me pictures and say, I bought your product, I tasted your product. And people that really buy the product. Like, I know some people will go out and they'll buy one bottle and they're like, oh, I supported you, right? No, support is buying another. Support is don't buy mine today, then go back and buy Don Julio the next day. Like, support is the keep buying it, right? And so I love when I see people make different drinks out of it. I love when people go buy it. I love to hear the good feedback. I love to hear the negative feedback. I love to hear what you guys think about it. It makes me happy to know that people are really, really buying the product. And shout out to Total Wines. Like, in Texas, Total Wines really sells my product, and I'm very excited about that. It makes me happy, to see that we can support, because one thing about our community, people say, oh, Black people don't support Black people. They absolutely do. And my product is supported by not just Black people. It's a lot of people that just like good tequila, You have your haters. You have people. I had one guy tried to write a bad review. The funny part, let me tell you how you talked about the AKs. Let me tell you how my sisters support me.
Oh, here we go.
Bad review on Total Wines, right? And the guy was like, quit saying this is tequila. It's not tequila, which I don't know why he thought it was. Tequila is made in Mexico. It's made in Jalisco, Mexico. I don't know why he thought it was tequila. And he gets on and he says, this is not tequila. Quit saying this tequila. Man, there was like 300 positive reviews right after that, back to back to back. Where it wasn't even keeping up. And I was so excited. Not just my sorors did that, but also people that follow me on Facebook and Instagram after I said, I can't believe he wrote this, and then people just flooded it. And it was like the bomb to see the support, to feel the support.
Haters gonna hate. That's what they do. No, so if you're checking us out, I've got the beautiful Miss Apryl Fort. She is, like we talked about, owner, creator of Infinite Brands, which includes a Blanco as well as a Reposado when we're talking about tequila. Also, Papa Tech, it's a bourbon for my bourbon drinkers. You got that? She got some infused THC drinks as well as infused drinks with tequila, as well as infused ice cream. But most importantly, she's an entrepreneur. And a lot of us get into a place, especially when we get up in age a little bit, and we, you know what?
Hold on, what you trying to say?
Do I really want to work for the man for the rest of my life? Should I take all this money that I've accumulated either in my savings, my checking account, my 401k, the equity in my house, and just let it sit there? Or do I take that money, focus it on a business that I really want to plant the seed, grow, create, and be a part of? And Apryl did something that other people do, and it's fine, but I get a chance to talk to her about taking that shot and dumping your 401k and actually going out into another industry and making your dreams come true. You can do that. Feel free to hit us up in the text, actually in the chat line, before I get too inebriated and forget all about it.
Eric, I think that infinite is infinitely kicking in over there.
That's what it's for. That's what it's made for. Is that an Usher song?
Oh, geez. He's singing Usher.
I'm good. I'm at home. The worst case scenario, the dog won't get walked tonight. So if you're out there checking this out, hit us up in the chat line, as well as hit the like button if you're on Facebook, as well as the subscription button. Go ahead. If you're on YouTube, go ahead, hit that subscription button, because we get a chance to talk to people in the music industry, in the entertainment industry, as well as spirits. One of the things we like to do is interview and talk to our friends, because those are the best interviews. Those are the guys that can tell you from life experiences how to run into a wall, climb over it, and succeed in life. In Apryl, you have done that. So for any, shout out to my man Gil. What's up, Gil? You say, what's up, fam? I see you, bro. I see you. I got my friends calling, checking in on us. We do this every week. Gil, hey, Apryl said hello. Tell people how they can, if they want to, purchase a bottle of, if they're not in the 11 states that you're in, how can they purchase it?
They can go to drinkinfinite.com, and it's drink infinite, infinite with no I. So it's NFINITE. Drinkinfinite.com, and you can purchase there. You can go there and it'll tell you how to get it to you wherever you are and in your state.
So what are some of the downfalls? So what's some of the bumps in the road that you reached that make you like, I don't know about that?
It's a couple of them, right? Because like I said, entrepreneurship is not easy. Right? This is not easy. It's easier to go work at the bank.
Right.
It's easier to get up every day, go work at the bank, and live this kind of mundane type situation. I remember talking to my significant other and
shout out, Champ.
Hey, Champ. I remember talking to Champ and saying, like, I want to go back to the bank. And I was like, because this is hard. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And he said, for what? For you can complain to me every day how you hate going to the bank. And it was just really, really funny. And they're thinking, like, he was totally right? There is a lot to be said about the thickest skin you've ever had in your life. Being able
Right.
to accept no 63 times in a row.
Oh,
Being,
girl, I do it every day.
but if you're not used to that, right? And you know what? It's different when it's yours too. Because at the
Right.
bank, if I turn down, if people say I don't want to do a loan with your bank when I was a corporate banker, fine, it wasn't me. That's the
Right.
bank's product, right? But imagine putting your heart and your soul into something. Imagine thinking that this is something that everybody loves because it's your baby, right? And
Right.
I was talking to a lady who I now kind of feels like she's my mentor in this. I was talking to her the other day, and she was telling me that I need to update the website, right? And she said when I told you that, she could see it in my face, like the little face I made. And I said, it's kind of like because it becomes your baby. And every woman that has a baby want everybody to think their baby cute. Even if their baby look funny. You want everybody to know that one cute thing your baby do, right?
Her
And
baby looks funny.
I remember one time me and my mom was talking, and she said, well, if you have an ugly baby, just put cute clothes on them. Everybody still think you cute. And
That's funny.
yeah, my mom said, just dress him up real nice. Everybody still call him cute. And because I was scared to have my son. I was scared. I was like, what if he come out ugly? My mom said, just dress him nice.
Shout out to my man Gil, because he said he go check out your brand. He's a bourbon person and indulge in tequila. Okay, all right, Gil.
Well, yeah, we have a bourbon too, so you have to check out Papa Tech as well. So you need to get both bottles. So
That's my homie. Shout out to Gil, my man.
all right. So I think that the pitfalls is just really having the thick skin to roll with the punches because they're gonna punch you. It's gonna be like you're in a heavyweight fight. And it's gonna be like you Rocky in this mug, right? Because every movie Rocky get beat up for some reason, right? And you getting your butt kicked every day. Every day you're getting your butt kicked, but you got to be able to still get up, still keep going,
See,
still
I
face.
told you.
Oh Lord, look at the baby.
I told you he gonna get in the. He gonna get in the shot. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Every time I do the show, he is going to get in the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gadsby. He is my boxer.
The great
For folks that know me personally, this dude is like 85 pounds. He is about, man, get off of me. So I'm a boxer guy. Get up. Everybody, let everybody see. See, everybody see right there. Get up. Come on. If you can get up, get up. There you go, right there. This is this is why I go to work every day.
That's your baby.
This is why I go to work every day. My boxer. He always is in the show. I don't know when he's going to be in the show, but I know he always makes the show. So, in terms of, do you have?
I don't, but Champ does. We have sleeve, so I'm used to sleeve being around. Champ has sleeve. I feel like he's mine now. I said I knew he was the one when I got a PetSmart account because yeah.
So yeah, holla at you, man. He got his bone now. He good. Woo! I'm sipping on tequila. He trying to jump in my lap. No, so let's got me off track, but this will get you back on track in a minute. So what's next for Infinite Brains? Gosh, man.
Oh man, you got you. We're really gonna try to grow the infused brands. Also grow the Papa Tech. I think Papa Tech, we have some great marketing things that's gonna come behind Papa Tech that we're excited about. We have we're gonna revamp, we're rebranding. So August 1st, you'll see a whole new Infinite. We're very excited about that. Very excited about all the things that we have coming up. The hardest part about this game that you were asking me about is really knowing who to trust in this game, really knowing who is for you. And, most of the bullshit that they tell you goes in one ear and out the other, because half of the bullshit they tell you they're not going to do. The other half of the bullshit they tell you just isn't true. So you got to make sure that you're somewhere in the middle, and you got to have really thick skin. And you got to be able to say, you know what? I understand the position I'm in. This is the hardest thing I could have done, but I also feel like this is a space that once we infiltrate this space, I think we're going to be amazing at it, because if you think about it, you're in radio, right? Our culture is copied so many times, right? So much we set the standards for. We
Right.
made Hennessy. Black people made Hennessy, you know, and I look at it, and even the people that own Ciroc, they use all black faces.
Right.
Puffy never owned Ciroc. I'm like, I don't know
Nobody knew that
I don't
until
know why people thought that, you know, and I'm like,
if
but
you
a
tell
lot of people
people,
think
if you tell people enough, multiple times they will believe it. Now that he is everything is no Diddy, Ciroc is like, hey, he never owned none
you
of
own
this.
this, yeah.
But we thought it was, and the thing about it is, as long as they paid him, he's going to portray like he owns it, and we're going to say, I mean, because I remember that in addition to him, there was Ciroc Boys, meaning that all the other DJs called themselves Ciroc Boys because they too had an opportunity to benefit because Ciroc wanted to be a part of the culture. I remember
Ciroc used black faces
Mhm.
to be successful.
Absolutely.
All this stuff
Absolutely.
happened to Puffy as soon as he got his own tequila.
Mhm.
He didn't even get a vodka because he couldn't compete with Ciroc, right?
Right.
He got his tequila. He was making moves with
Right.
his tequila. He had Young Miami. He had all the people doing his tequila, right?
Right.
He complained, and he only owned 30% of the one that he was doing. They gave him 30% of that one. He
Ooh.
complained. He sued them. That everything around him fell because he didn't own it.
Right.
Same thing with Jay-Z and Ace of Spades. Didn't own it. And then he found out, hey, they don't even want you doing this. Same thing as Duce, right? Jay-Z had Megan Thee Stallion making songs, drinking Duce out the bottle and all that stuff. Beyonce singing about Duce, bringing it into the culture. Guess what? They don't own it. So when Duce don't do what they want and they pull out, guess what Duce does? Go out of the culture.
Now you just educated me. I did not know he didn't have ownership in Duce.
Mm-mm. They get so a lot of them what they do, they don't own it. They may have a portion of ownership where they're getting residuals from it, but they don't own it. So it's a main company out of New York that all those rappers they go to. That's what happened to Jeezy's first brand. So it's a lot of brands that they're not owned by the people, they're represented by people. So they give them a percentage of ownership, which may be like 10% of profits, you know, like a profit share type situation, but they don't own enough to make decisions. That's why they could kick Puffy out and say, we're just not going to do your brand no more. That's
So
how he
is it the fact that they don't own it? So the 10% ends at a certain point, or they own 10% regardless, forever.
Well, you could kick them out if it's 10%. You can always kick somebody out of a corporate situation if it's 10%. Like they could, you know, they could end the partnership. So it's a profit sharing partnership, not so much as ownership. It's profit sharing.
Okay. Profit share. So you really never had part of ownership. You profit share. Wow. But you own all of yours, don't you?
I own all of it. I own the formula and everything. You can research it. Like The Rock doesn't own his. It's like so many of them that team up with these huge companies, and I get why they do that, right? They team up with these huge companies so they can sell it. That's why when people say George Clooney sold his Casamigos for $1 billion, he didn't get $1 billion. He owned, you know, he was part of that team.
So he got a portion of the billion, which ain't bad.
Which ain't bad. No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying that it's some companies that.
But if he owned Casamigos,
yeah,
he would have had $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you know, it's just how it works, right? So a lot of people, such as celebrities, they hook up with these big companies that are, you know, that don't look like us behind it, and they want to infiltrate our culture, like, you know, like
because just in case you don't know, for my folks that are checking us out, African Americans are worth $1.3 billion in terms of spending that we do on an annual basis. So when brands have an opportunity to tap into $1.3 trillion in consumers, they do that. A lot of the times that the people that are on the front or the face of it happen to be the front in the face, but they are not realistically the ownership of it. Apryl owns hers, right?
Yep, I own it 100%.
Last time you've been to when the last time you've been to Mexico?
Oh, it's been a while. I don't have to make that trip right now.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll go back during growing season when they start making the plants, when they start growing the plants again. So how Infinite is made, the plants are harvested in a certain portion of the field and then it's harvested. So hopefully I'll get to go back there.
Good stuff. Now, I know something you and I have talked about before.
Okay.
That you will actually, in the near future, start teaching classes on how to do what?
Start your own brand.
How about if you want to start your own liquor brand, call my girl.
Yes, I want to help people. I want us to be big in this industry. I want us to own our products. I want us to drink. I want us to drink.
And we drink it. Why not get paid on it?
We always talk about generational wealth and things like that. If we want real generational wealth, we'll start drinking our own products. We'll start keeping the money in our communities longer.
Right.
Own these stores. Yeah, that's what we'll start doing.
Well, Apryl, I truly appreciate that you took the time out to talk to us. I got a real cool group of people that watch the show, and it's always on replay. If you watch it on YouTube, of course, Facebook. I just wanted to thank you for taking the time out, talking about your journey, entrepreneurship, taking the shot, because there are a lot of people that have had that over the last 4 or 5 years that saw a really good bump and increase of their 401k. What do I do with it? Should I take the shot or should I just sit on it? Because everybody at a certain point in time is like, do I really want to continue to work where I work? Because we've gained enough knowledge for whatever our dreams are to have that fulfilled by financing our own dreams. Question is, of course, because when we have that type of the capital, we want it the right way so we don't lose it, that we invested it into the right business and see a return on our investment. And as a money manager, it's funny because as we have these conversations, that a lot of the things that you said that you teach in your book, like when you in it, you think differently, totally differently. And I thank you for coming on the show. Once you get that second book out, let's talk about taking your shot and how it all affected you in the way that your life is from the time that, of course, that you decided to walk from your corporate job and you actually took that shot. You'll do that for us?
I will, and I know that I was kind of low energy today. I apologize to you.
No, you're low energy. You're a long way from that.
You know, I've been kind of under the weather today, but I could not leave you hanging because I know that I feel blessed to be your friend. I feel blessed that you believe in my product as much as you do. And I'll tell you, the biggest thing you could have in this industry is people who believe in you, people who will stand by your side, even at your lowest, and pick you back up, and people who want to see you win. And I thank you for being that for me, for wanting to see me win. So cheers to you, Eric.
You got a good drink, girl. That look.
Oh Lord. If y'all get phone calls, if you get phone calls from Eric tonight, just know he been drinking. Okay.
Look, I need you to sit in the green room for a second, and I need to finish this thing up. Is that okay?
That's cool. All right.
Hey, that was my girl, Apryl Fort from Infinite Brands. And the beautiful thing about it is she's an entrepreneur. She's a lot like a lot of us, in a certain place in terms of being able to have the capital in place, because number one, we've got money from our homes that we could take out a second mortgage, or we got a nice savings account or checking account, or that 401k. She chose to shoot her shot. And there was something that she wanted to figure out if this was the lane she wanted to go into, and she went into spirits in terms of tequila and bourbon and things of that nature. and you can too. I'll make sure that when April has embarked on her second book, we'll bring her back definitely. It's Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. My man Lorenzo I.C. Thomas is usually with us each and every week, but he has some stuff going on. Truly understand. And we'll make sure he's on the show the next time. But until then, if you have any questions, feel free to drop us chats in the text in the chat room. Oh, my man. Okay, Gil. I see you, brother. I see you. He's still in the chat room. So we want to thank you guys for checking us out. We'll be back another Thursday, 8 p.m., where we get an opportunity to talk to some of our friends in the music industry, in business, all over the different genres of business, music, and entertainment. We thank you. And I got to admit, she said it doesn't have a hangover. I'm the one to tell you it don't have a hangover. I've drank this way more than I need to. Until then, we will see you the next time. Thank you for checking out Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ.